evening and welcome to this edition of Newsleader on 6. Today is Tuesday, June the 5th, 2018. I'm Jim Fuller.
And I'm Andrew Todd. In tonight's news, we'll take you to the Art Inspired by Bonnaroo exhibit, and we'll introduce you to the new director of the Hands-On Science Center. We'll have all these stories and more on tonight's Newsleader on 6.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. I have a few 2017s left that have to go right now. Kia Forte, $14,994. Kia Optima, $19,971. And my question is, why buy your next Kia anywhere else?
The day the Lord created hope could be the same day He created spring.
Springtime's here. It's a good time to get our air conditioners checked out before those hot summer days get here. We've been here for a little over 35 years. It's been our pleasure to serve our community. We'd like to thank you for Tullahoma's finest, and from all of us to all of you.
Thank you!
Welcome back. In conjunction with the Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival this week, the Tullahoma Arts Center opened a new exhibit called Art Inspired by Bonnaroo. Our producer Philip Scoggins and Andrew bring us the story.
Well, if you're unable to attend the Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival this year, there is one good alternative that you can do, and that is come on down to the Tullahoma Arts Center to look at some fine artwork by local artists that were inspired by the annual music festival. Well, I'm here with one of my favorite artists, not just local artists period, and that's Miss Becky Shelton. And Becky, you have a wonderful display here that I've loved a long time, and I have this in my home. I have a version of this, but it has kind of a special meaning to Channel 6 a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it came from you. It's your Bonnaroo trash. Back, I guess 5 years ago, I think, you brought me a bunch of beautiful trash, and I turned it into a piece of artwork. And this is how 10 years of Bonnaroo came about. And
it's what they were referred to as mixed media, I believe. Is that the correct term?
Mixed media. And I got the actual wristbands, and I guess some of them were brochures and news articles mixed with some of my artwork on top of it. So it's just a little bit of everything. And yes, it is a mixed media piece.
Well, you can always find inspiration out of Bonnaroo, that's for sure. And we're lucky to have something like this in this area that inspires artists and gets everything out. I'm just happy that I could help and be any kind of part of this. So I'm very happy that I helped out with you.
You were the I guess the brainchild of bringing home the trash. I just put it on the canvas.
Well, one person's trash is another one's art, right? So yeah. Well, I'm speaking with Tammy O'Connor, who has some beautiful, beautiful work up here right now at the Bonnaroo Festival. What is it about Bonnaroo, and not so much just Bonnaroo, but maybe just music and the festival vibe in general, that really inspires you as an artist?
Oh. Well, I think it's the culture, the attitude of let's just come together and enjoy music. Let's have fun. Let's just enjoy the weekend and just celebrate music and life and just enjoy things.
And it really brings out the creativity, as you can see with a lot of these local artists that we're here at and everything. And again, it sounds cheesy, but that is the spark. I mean, it's all about that creativity, that one little thing that can push you to, hey, I need to create this.
I think, too, for people in my generation, I mean, I can remember seeing VW buses going by with Woodstock or Bust written all over them. It takes us back to a fun time in our youth. And so we're inspired by that, those memories, those feelings, and the music. Oh, my word, the music. Such great music.
Yeah. So for how long now has stained glass been your passion, your drive? How long have you been?
I've been working in glass for over 30 years. Yeah. And I love it. It's something new all the time for me.
And the piece that we're standing in front of right here is just fantastic, and we're getting a great shot of that right there. Now, are you going to be making it out to this year's Bonnaroo, do you think?
I am not. This year's Bonnaroo it starts on my anniversary, and so I will be out of state.
Well, you know what? Congratulations on that, and we'll give you a pass on this year. And that's
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, Tammy, your work is phenomenal and everything. Do you have a website or anything that?
It's vitricvisions.com. Vitric is Latin for glass, so it's glass visions basically, but it's vitricvisions.com.
Well, folks, you have a website to go check out and get some fantastic work that Tammy does. And this is running all month, so everybody come down and check out this work here at the Tullahoma Art Center.
Fun exhibit. It's just a hoot.
It is. And I'm speaking with Chandler Cartozo and her beautiful son, Joey, who is here with us. Chandler, tell us about your artwork that you're offering up today.
At the Bonnaroo exhibit here at the Tullahoma Art Center, I have some of my wire wrap jewelry. A lot of the pieces that I have donated here or have on display here are used tie-dye glass beads with copper wire, and they really capture the essence of Bonnaroo, is what I think.
Yes. What about Bonnaroo inspires you in your artwork and your creativity? What do you think is the one, not necessarily one singular thing, but one thing that really sparks the fire?
The vibrant colors and funky eclecticness of Bonnaroo is what I have captured in my work. Most of my work is really colorful and eclectic and really funky, like the pieces you see here.
It is, and it's very impressive. It's very nice. I really enjoy it. How great is it that not only that we have a worldwide phenomenon festival that's here, but how cool is it that here in this town that it gives a place for local artists to showcase what they want to get out to the world? Isn't that a great thing, don't you think?
I think so. I think anytime you can incorporate music and art and community, you have a fabulous trio that can do great things in the world.
Absolutely. And do you have a website or anything that you'd like to plug?
You can find me on Etsy. You can find it at chandlersdesigns.etsy.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for talking with us. And Joey, he's ready for Rue, I can tell already.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for talking with us.
And be sure to tune in to Thursday's Newsleader, and we'll bring you more from the Art Inspired by Bonnaroo exhibit. We'll be right back with more Newsleader after these messages.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. Tom Corrington spoke recently with the new executive director of the Tullahoma Hands-On Science Center.
The Hands-On Science Center, which is one of our well-known and beloved assets, has a new executive director whose name is Sean Amadon. And we've invited Sean to be with us today, and he graciously accepted. He has an interesting background, so I think we should have a little fun here. Thanks, Sean, for joining us. And
my pleasure.
And welcome to Tullahoma.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, you've only been here, what, 3 weeks?
About 3 weeks now, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hails over from North Carolina.
Yeah.
So, well, let's begin with a little personal information on Sean. Give us your background, education, stuff like that.
Born and raised in Florida, Central Florida area. I kind of always had a love for science and animals. When I was, ever since I can remember, my dad always had, some pet snakes and stuff that we'd catch and, keep in the house for a while. Camping trips all the time. We'd always go out. So he definitely was my inspiration for building a background and a love for nature. I went through school.
You collected snakes and alligators?
No alligators, yeah. we just looked at them when we were in Florida, but yeah, just kind of always out in the woods, always camping, playing in the lake in our backyard, and stuff like that. Okay. It was definitely a good experience growing up. Decided to actually in high school I got very heavy into drama, so it's kind of went a little sideways there, and then went to college and decided to go back to biology and got a 4-year degree in biology at the University of South Florida in Tampa. So kind of really considered a major in drama, considered one in biology, and kind of decided to go the biology direction. I was actually looking to go to vet school. I had applied for vet schools and stuff, and then I discovered this program that they had in Gainesville, Florida, at Santa Fe Community College in Gainesville. It's actually a teaching zoo. They have a 2-year associate's degree in zoo animal technology. And so after completing my 4-year bachelor's degree...
Animal technology, I'm not sure I understand that.
Fancy term for zookeeping.
For what?
For zookeeping.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically I trained zookeepers. So I got my 4-year degree in biology, and then I went there and got a 2-year degree in zoo animal technology. And that school really trained zookeepers. It's a pretty well-known program, throughout the country. So got a bunch of animal experience there and got set up for my career.
No. Give us your work background, Sean. What did you do before you got here?
Sure. Yeah. After graduating from college, those 2 different programs I got there, I actually got a zookeeping job at Disney's Animal Kingdom. I was there for about 5 years, so definitely a great opportunity. I was on a team that's actually a 3rd shift team, which sounds kind of strange for a zoo, but we actually had staff there overnight, help with work crews, working around animals and stuff. The great part about that is I was able to cover the entire park, so I got hands-on experience from things like poison arrow frogs all the way up to elephants and hippos and rhinos. So great opportunity there. Yeah. I was there for about 5 years, so that was definitely a very rewarding opportunity. I kind of really wanted to build my leadership and management experience, so I actually left that after 5 years to go into retail management for a while. I kind of always had this long-term vision of really leading an organization, whether it's starting my own type of organization or some big company like Hands-On Science Center where I can lead it. So I had the animal experience, and I really needed to work on the leadership and management. So I got an operations manager position with Petco. I was there for a few years, definitely learning a lot, and went on to running a store for Circle K. So I actually managed a location for that for a few years. So kind of got to the point where, okay, now it's time to combine that experience. I have that, science experience. I have this leadership experience that I've been working on. I've got the animal experience. Decided to open my own company. I actually opened Cold-Blooded Encounters Reptile Zoo and Science Center.
What cold-blooded? What all did that include? That's reptiles and what?
Yeah, that was kind of an evolution. It started with just operating out of home. It was an educational outreach company, so I would do programs for schools and libraries and birthday parties just with a few animals I had at home. It would be a variety of stuff, anywhere from spiders and scorpions, frogs, lizards, turtles, just a little bit of everything that I'd bring out and do little educational programs with. So that was real fun, and like I said, just operating out of home. And
was this a portable course you were?
Oh yeah.
Taking out to school?
Yep. Yeah, we would just take things out, and I would doing programs all over, North Carolina, South Carolina, that whole area. And it got real popular, and decided to actually open up a facility that people could come and visit. And so just outside of Charlotte, I opened up our little science center. It started as a reptile zoo. Kind of, even the evolution of the name, it started as just Cold-Blooded Encounters when I was doing the programs from home. Then I changed it to Cold-Blooded Encounters Reptile Zoo, where I actually had, at one point, over 200 species of different invertebrates, amphibians, and reptiles on display where people could come and see it. And then I expanded next door, over 200 different species. Actually, at one point, I may have been the largest in the world. For a few months there, technically, I had about 250 actually at one point. Largest reptile zoo in the world is Reptile Gardens in South Dakota, and they claim to have 225.
How did you and the Hands-On Science Center connect?
Yeah, well, like I said, it was interesting. It was kind of just an accident. I wasn't, in a desperate need to find a job or anything like that. I had my own thing going on, but just always had the resumes. It was actually Indeed website, I think, where I found the position. Just, I just get postings for, director positions and curator positions and stuff like that. Just kind of, seeing what's out there. I saw this one. I checked out the website. Being a nonprofit, you can go online and look at P&Ls and things like that, and see the history of the facility. And it's like, oh, that's interesting. Let me, see what happens. Maybe apply for an interview and go visit the place and see what happens.
And here you are.
And here I am.
Okay.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. Tullahoma Police Captain George Marsh stopped by our studios last week to share some information on motorcycle safety.
Joining us today is Captain George Marsh with the Tullahoma Police Department, who is currently the acting police chief. George, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Keeping you busy, I assume.
Oh, yes, very busy.
Right. You mentioned that you'd like to talk a little bit about motorcycle safety today.
As you'll notice this time of year, starting this time of year, you'll see a lot more motorcycles out on the road.
Yeah.
So people just got to realize they're there.
Right.
There's going to be a lot more of them there this time of year. Best thing I can do is just look twice and give them some space. Make sure you notice them there.
And you, motorcycle riders have the same rights, I assume, as a person driving a motor vehicle, a car.
Yes. And commonly we got to share the lane. There's no lane. The lane splitting in the state of Tennessee is illegal, which means the motorcyclist is entitled to the full lane, the use of the full lane. So if you're going to pass the motorcycle, you must pass the motorcycle, first of all, legally, in a legally passing zone, but you can't cut that lane off for them. They are entitled to the full use of that lane.
So are motorcycle riders allowed to ride two abreast in the same lane?
Two abreast is as far as they can go. They can't go any further than two abreast.
Right. Okay. I'm guessing that motorcycles are a little bit more difficult to see if you're not being aware as a driver.
They are, and that's the motorcycle laws are. You do have to have headlights all the time, daytime headlights and all. Also on a motorcycle, if you're going to be carrying passengers, it must be equipped for a passenger. It must have a seat equipped for a passenger and foot pegs or footrest that for a passenger. Also, if you have a child on board that motorcycle, their feet must be able to touch those foot pegs, or they cannot ride that motorcycle.
No kidding. And I bet I guess I've seen that a few times where they weren't big enough to. So you can't just put a child right in front of you.
No, you can't have anything in front of you at all. Your vision cannot be impeded, or your ability to control the handlebars cannot be impeded by anything at all.
Right.
No packages, no persons, or anything like that.
Right. And you have to have a license. You have to be a licensed driver, I assume?
It's called an M endorsement on there. It's a M license. Also, you got to wear a helmet. Everyone on a motorcycle must wear a helmet. I have been seeing these autocycles now, these three-wheeled, what I call three-wheel motorcycles, but they're legally called autocycles. But now these are equipped with seat belts.
Really?
Everything is fairly mandated on a vehicle or in these autocycles, these three-wheel autocycles. So you must wear your seat belt. Now, unless that is completely enclosed or surrounded, you must wear a helmet with that also. But there are autocycles that are surrounded and that are completely enclosed, so at that point you would not have to wear the helmet. There's 3 common injuries during a motorcycle crash, and most are orthopedic injuries such as broken bones or dislocations. Then you have those that are, you have your severe road rashes. And then again, of course, you have the traumatic brain injuries that come along with motorcycle riding. Right. There's specific helmets you go with. They got to be DOT certified. You can't remove those stickers from those helmets. You got to be able to know what kind of helmet you got. it's got to be good.
And I'm guessing that that if you have a passenger, if someone's riding with you, then they're going to have to have a helmet as well.
Well, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
You know, most of the time when you have a motorcycle incident, it's just mostly like a motor vehicle accident, basically. If they're caused mainly by speed, drugs and alcohol, and other motors that are just didn't see them. That's why we're going to stress, look twice. Look twice before you change that lane. Make sure that your motorcycle is legal to be on the road. Make sure it's got those headlights working. And make sure that you've got left and right mirrors on your motorcycle, because a motorcycle can move over and, you know, run into you also.
Right.
So make sure that your motorcycle is ready to go on the road.
Talk a little bit about the license for it. If you're under 16, can you get a license to drive a motorcycle?
You can. It's going to fall basically under the restricted license deal. I have known of people getting licensed earlier, 14, for a motorcycle license. A lot of times hardship is involved, just like you can get a driver's license for hardship.
Okay, all right. But so you don't necessarily have to be 16 and have a.
Not necessarily. No.
Is the license the same as you get to drive a motor vehicle?
Well, you're going to have to go through that testing also, but you also got another motorcycle testing, and you're going to have to be able to control that motorcycle.
So you're going to have to ride that motorcycle in front of someone.
And there's obstacle courses that you have to provide to.
More Newsleader on 6 is coming up in a moment.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's going to be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. The Tullahoma Arts Center will be opening its summer camp for kids next week. Peggy Burton brings us this story.
I love it when somebody new comes by here with exciting things to talk about. I have Kathiana today, Rosenthal. She is here representing the Arts Center in Tullahoma and other things. I understand you're a singer.
Yes, I am.
And an artist.
Yes, I am.
And you're teaching the camp.
I am.
Let's get some details on that. If you guys in the back will put up the phone number and the website, it would be helpful.
Well, I'm here to represent the Tullahoma Arts Center. We're having an art camp starting June 11th is the first week, but it's going to go every week all the way ending in July 27th. So the first week, because I am from Alaska, the first week is dedicated to Alaska. We're going to be doing Alaskan art. A lot of the things that we're going to be doing during the camp are things like pour art. We're going to be doing sketching. We're going to be painting the cosmos. We're going to learn how to do scenery, how to do skies and blend skies.
Pour art.
Pour art.
What is that?
Well, it's a mix of different paints that you use and different silicone-based things, and when you pour it, it makes the design.
Oh, okay.
You can scrape it, and bubbles come out. It's really
different
pretty.
Colors and I know what you mean now.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of things we're going to do. We're going to do graphic art.
Good.
So it'll be every week we'll be doing a sign. So everybody will be able to learn how to do a little bit of graphic measurement and learning that. My philosophy is that art is lifestyle, and that's been my lifestyle. Everything in my life since about 4th grade has been based on art and music and developing business, and art has helped me to do that.
To develop your business, of course it would. Because I know you have a picture with you that you painted.
Well,
Do we want
this
to show
picture,
that?
yeah, I just wanted to show these
I love it.
monkeys.
Sweet monkeys.
They're Indonesian monkeys, and this is really what they look like. So we're going to be painting animals. We're going to draw faces. And if somebody hasn't had any art experience, the kids, it's okay, because I'll show you how to do that. And I like to find the gifts in children, because everyone has innate things they're born with. And I remember a 4th grade teacher that drew me out in the area of public speaking. And it changed my life.
And that's what it takes.
That's what it takes.
That special, just a little spark.
Yeah, and with art you dream, and then you envision it, and then you have to gather the components and kind of picture how it would be. Well, that's life in everything, business or school or relationships.
Do you know when the art when it starts? I know it starts on the 11th, but what time of day does it?
Okay, it's going to start. It'll be 12:30 till 2:30, and I like people to be there at least 10 minutes early, so they're all ready to go. Wear some T-shirts and jeans, and be ready to.
And don't worry about getting paint all over your clothes and your shoes.
Yeah, and I wanted to say if we're also inviting children with disabilities. So if anybody has any kind of disability that the parent might think, well, I don't know if they can sit in the class that long. Don't worry about it. I'm good at that.
Do you encourage the parent to stay with them?
They are welcome to.
Okay. Some people do and some people don't.
Oh, they're welcome to. Yeah.
Hey, I heard you wrote a little ditty about the art class.
Okay, yeah.
You want to sing it?
I did this in my car, and I might break out in singing in the class. So,
but
let's see. It goes, everything looks good in black and white. Colors make it bright. Sculpture, art, and paints of blue. All we need is you.
Cute. I love it. Good voice.
And it's Monday through Friday. $75 for a week, which is about $15 a day, which is pretty cheap. And the first week we're going to be doing Northern Lights.
Oh, that'll be nice.
From Alaska, and that's beautiful. I think the kids will really like
Just
that.
on a rare occasion, we have gotten a glimpse of the Northern Lights here. And so do you have your own mission statement in your head or your own philosophy that you want to share with us?
Well, just like what I
did say, but
yeah, just basically what I said is art is a lifestyle, and it's the backbone for everything. And it builds confidence, understanding, vision. It helps you set goals. It helps you complete something and work with it and work around the issues or the problems of it. Hey, that's psychology right there.
And don't forget to tune into this week's Living Show tonight at 6:30 p.m., Thursday morning at 9 a.m., and Thursday, Friday, and Saturday evenings at 6:30 p.m. This week's guests include Jeff Quay, our Bonnaroo PR representative, who will give us the lowdown on this year's big festival that starts on Thursday. Tullahoma's Winston Brooks will tell us about the Independence Day party coming to Tullahoma, and we'll have lots of pre-Bonnaroo excitement. All that and more on this week's Living.
And stay with us. We'll have your weather forecast right after these messages.
Russell's got your truck, man. Russell's got your truck.
Big, bigger, and even bigger. Russell Barnett has any size truck for any size need. Chevrolet, Ford, GMC, Ram. Check us out on the web at russellbarnett.com. Our selection is so huge, we may need our own zip code. So my question is, why buy your next truck anywhere else?
With the best selection anywhere, Russell's got your truck, man.
All I have to do is think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do,
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1943 at 96 degrees. The record low was in 1946 at 42 degrees. The average high on this day is 83, and the average low is 60. Mostly clear weather expected tonight with a low of around 62. Mostly sunny weather in the forecast for Wednesday with a high of 88 and a low of 64. Mostly sunny weather continuing in the forecast for Thursday with a high of 89 and a low of 68. And my friend Andrew is off to Bonnaroo again for I don't know how many years, but several.
Yeah. Producer Philip Scoggins and I, this will be our 14th year out at Bonnaroo. And if you're going out to the farm this week and weekend, have a great time. Stay hydrated. Be safe, be healthy, and if you're not making it out to the farm, stick right here at Channel 6 because we'll have the best coverage in the area of Bonnaroo.
All right, sounds good. You guys have fun.
Oh, yeah.